Hi, we've spoken before about patterning behaviour, and I just want to go into a little bit of depth and perhaps explain in a simple form what patterning behaviour is. And what it's about is something that happened to us in our childhood where we created a belief. And if I can use an example, that as a small child, if you, maybe 3 years old, went to ride a push bike, there was a load of bikes in an area, and there's lots of children about and adults, and you as a small child, 3 years old, ran up to that bike, 4 years old, tried to jump on the bike, tried to pedal off and fell over. And everybody was looking at you. That was your belief. And what you did then is you failed in your mind. You failed that you didn't ride that bike, and then you went to your mother, and your mother obviously came up to you and comforted you and explained it was all okay. But interestingly enough, what's happened subconsciously, you failed and your mother's comforted you. So therefore, if we look at that patterning of failure, and if you're in a cyclical phase throughout your life that you keep failing at whatever you attempt, it could be that you've been patterned something similar, experience like that in your early life. And that is really fascinating, and that is where a lot of us are coming from with worry and fear of failure and not good enough. And that is what is deemed as patterning. And our patterns control the show. And fear of failure is probably one of the biggest patterns that a lot of us suffer from, or have suffered from, if you've healed that situation. So that could even be an experience that you don't even remember. It could not even come into your memory bank of what happened to you, or by just having this conversation about your fear of failure and how you've been patterned, that could start to awaken that memory. And if that's the case, that's quite interesting how quickly you can heal that, because it's rising to the surface. So I just wanted to explain in depth a little bit more about patterning, and what happens when we pattern, we then compound that belief, and that's why the cyclical events of failure in various things start to happen, and we get what we call a trigger. Then we get a disturbance in this sort of area somewhere from there to there, and whatever that disturbance is, tightness of chest or heavy chest, or mainly the stomach tends to turn, that's the big fear one. And what happens then is it just compounds that pattern that we've created. So thanks for listening. I hope that's helped you a little bit understanding what patterns are. And I use the fear of failure as a big one because that's what many of us do suffer from, as well as the usual stress and overwhelm and just general dis-ease. So thanks for listening. Wherever you are, have a great day. Take care.